Okay, so once again, good evening. Okay, so we are almost 33 in a room, so therefore we're going to start. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, what we're going to discuss today is about looping statement. Okay, so using Dev C++ environment. Okay, so when we say looping, we have of course three most commonly used looping statement. Okay, so when we say loop, this is refers to a set of statement in a program executed repeatedly, either a fixed number of times or until some conditions is true or false. It also controls structures in which a block of instruction is repeated until a condition is fulfilled. We have what we call sequence control structure. The sequence control structure, this is a control structure that tells the computer to execute program in statement in order in which that statement is written. Okay, I will give you the okay. So as what we have here, is as what we have here now. When we say iterative statement, this is a statement in a program that allows the program to repeat one or more statement. Okay, we have also iteration. Of course, when we say iteration, this refers to the act of executing one or more statement or instruction repeatedly. Statements or instructions executed are said to be in loop. So program control statement. This will be a terminologies, of course, before we're going to start our hands-on activity. So there are three program control statements. So as I mentioned earlier, for loop statement, while loop statement, and do while loop statement. When we say for loop statement, this allow a set of instruction to be repeated until a certain condition is reached. So this will be the syntax for loop statement. So we have for, open parenthesis, initialization, semicolon, condition, semicolon, increment or decrement. Then begin. Then the statement, semicolon, then end. Where when we say initialization, this is an assignment statement that is used to set loop control variable. So for example, if we started our count from 0 to 20, so assuming our variable is A is equal to 0 as our initialization. Okay? So this is an assignment again, a statement that is used to set loop. Okay? Now, condition. This is a relational expression that determines when the loop will exit by testing the loop control variable against some values. So if we started, for example, to A is equal to 0, then A is greater than or equal to 8, for example. This will be a condition. Then, increment and decrement. It defines how the loop control variable will change each time the loop is repeated. So, again, we have also while loop statement, and this will be the syntax for while loop. Same initialization, but by this time we have while before the conditions, begin statement, increment, decrement, and end for while statement. And for do while, of course, we have initialization, semicolon, do begin, statements, increment, decrement, then while condition. Now, based on the given problem number 1, if the problem is design a program that calculates the sum of the input given number of n using 3 looping statement. So it means to say one program and you will be able to apply 3 different looping statement. So for loop statement, based on the given problem, so of course, sharp include this TDIO, the main, then int m, of course, m is as our input. For example, if our initialization is 8, so m is equal to 8, then e is for the looping itself. Okay, so entire enter your desired looping number, for example 8. No, then scanf the value you inputted. Then for E is equal to 1, E is less than or equal to M, E plus plus. So I will show you on how we'll be able to do this one. Okay. Before we may proceed to the looping statement, I just want to reiterate once again the difference between the and the or. Okay, so as what we have here, we have or. So this will be the simple, the symbol for or. So either M, lowercase m, same as what we did in our gender, no? So M, lowercase m. It means to say that when we say or, either of the two is possible. So even you inputted lowercase, it's still accepted. Even you inputted lower uppercase, it's still accepted. That is for or. When we say and, okay, so for and, last time we have an end already, no? So wait for a while. Okay, so by the meantime, so for example, this will be the looping statement number 1. This problem, as what we give you a while ago, design a program that calculates the sum, no? The sum of the input given number. So it means to say if we inputted, for example, here 8, so assuming we inputted here 8. So therefore, initialization is 1. This will be the condition, therefore it will become 8. And up to the time we reach the value of A. Then it loops, no, until up to 8 because we inputted up to 8. Okay? So but we inputted 12 times. Okay? Yes. So file, save, of course. Execute, compile, and run. So for example, I inputted 8, then i-add niya yan. So as you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. If you add 8 plus 7, 15, plus 11, okay, 8 plus 7, 15, plus 6, 21, plus 5, 26, 30, 33, 35, 36. Okay? So how about if we inputted another value? So assuming 88. So as you can see here, so it write 1 to 88. Then add, no? 88 to 87 plus 86 plus 85 plus 84. The total from 88 to 1 is 3961. And this will be the for loop statement using for loop. Again, this one is as our initialization. Okay? This will be our initialization. This will be for the condition. So that's why if we inputted 8, so it replaced to 8, it display 1 to 8. If we inputted, for example, 12, so this will be 1 to 12, then add, no? It will add from 1 to depending on what your inputted value here. Okay? So how about looping number 2 example? So still using for loop statement. Okay, so for example, if we inputted 8, so what will happen? So how do you understand this series of numbers? When you encounter this type of series of numbers, how do you understand this situation or this sample?
Sir, para pong Fibonacci.
Okay, that is what we call Fibonacci sequence. Okay? When we say Fibonacci sequence, that is 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, 3 plus 5 is equal to 8, 5 to 8, 5 plus 8 is equal to 13, 8 plus 30 is equal to 21. Okay, so since we inputted only 8, so therefore 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It means to say that we inputted 5 Fibonacci series. 8, sorry. 8 Fibonacci series. How about if we inputted 12? Execute. Compile in, sorry. Okay, if we input 12, so therefore we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if you add 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 3. A while ago, we have 3, 5, 8. 5, 8 is 13. 8 plus 13 is 21. 13 plus 21, 34. 21 plus 34, 55. 30 plus 55, 89. 55 plus 89, 144. So it depends upon on you. So we have an initialization here started by 1. So T is the inputted value here. Then O, increment. No? So because 1 to 9 or 1 to 12, that must be increment. Okay? How about looping number 3? Example, this one, the number with its squared equivalent. So by this time, we don't include or we don't require the program to input. Instead, our condition is up to 8. Okay, so instead of asking for an input value, we give or assign a condition up to 8 only. Okay, so execute, compile and run. So as you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9. 4 times 4, 16. 5 times 5, 25. So there is certain question. Yeah, actually, we are also allowed to do this, the input. It is also allowable. Instead of having an exact condition, it is also allowed for us naman to input value rather than to do this. Okay? So, what we're going to do is to backslash in here. So, for example, if you want to have an input, it's all still okay. So, what you're going to do is just, for example, you just copy this one. By this time, we add t as our variable. And instead of 8, we must use t here. Okay, so file save, execute, compile and run. So if we input 12, so as you can see here, we have 1 to 12, then 1 to 12. This will be the questions by your classmate. Sir, do it possible for us to input number rather than to have a constant value? So therefore, I answered it already, right? So what you can just simply add, no? Add enter a value, then t is our input value. And instead of having 8 here, so we replace t. And of course, we need to add a variable. Somebody asking also about long int. So if you want to have a large value, so use long int. Okay? long int, for example, if I have only, that's why last time I already give you the short int, and long int. So if you just only inputted 4 digits, better for you to use short int. But if you want to have an input or output up to 6 or 7 digits, better for you to use int. But if you have more than 8 digits, better for you to use long int. Okay? I hope I could answer the questions in the chat box. Okay, another example. So this one is a reverse value. Okay, so if we inputted, for example, 9 or 989, is the same output, 989. Because if you're going to reverse the 989, still 989. Okay, so execute. Compile and run. Tapos if we inputted 875. So it must be displayed 578. Enter. So as you can see here, it reverse the value. So if we do 875, it output, it will give us an output of 578. Okay? So execute, compile and run. For example, I put 90675. Enter. So as you can see here, 90654. So it will give us 45609. And that is a reverse of numbers. And during your second semester or even second year, you have a more manipulations about reverse number for sorting and so on with your data structure subject. Okay? Another example. This time, we are now using while. A while ago, our example from 1 to 4 is about on how we'll be able to use for loop statement. This time, how about the while? So as what we have here, based on the given syntax, no, we need to have an initialization. Okay? This will be the condition. Okay? So therefore, as what we have, this will be the regular program. But if you visited, for example, a supermarket, the cashier, no, doesn't say that, okay, sir, wait for a while, we run again our program. Instead, they have looping. So when it is done, if you input another items, automatically run the program using while or do while loop or looping statement. Okay, so as what we have here, execute, compile, and run. So for example, if we put it 90, 89, 90. So it display. So 89, the average, pass. Do you want to process another? If I say yes, why? Automatically, you are still allowed to input 78, 67, 56. Okay? So as you can see here, we have a output wherein once we answer still Y or yes, is still repeating the process. Okay? But if I answer it no or N, double and enter twice, then automatically end the program. Because based on our condition, once lowercase y and uppercase y encountered, automatically stop the program. Okay? So what we're going to do for us to insert the while loop statement? We have a variable for ans. Initialization ans is equal to y. Then this will be the condition. Ans handle the or variable for a while loop statement. So this will be, do you want to price another? Scanf ans. So it's too easy for us to use while loop statement. How about this one? This example, as what we have here, we just only one problem. But if we choose one, using for loop. If we choose two, using while loop. But if you choose three, we use do while loop. So this is the way on how we'll be able to use do while. So ans the same as initialization, do begin. Then at the bottom, we have while, then condition. Almost the same process with while loop. But when it comes to placing, the while is at the bottom. But as you can see here in while loop, ans the same and declaration, while first, the condition first. As you can see here, in do while is at the bottom. Okay? So, same concept, same way of using the while loop in do while loop. Okay? So, for example, so what we're going to input here is 1 as for loop, 2 for do while loop, while loop, and 3 for do while loop. Okay, so execute, compile, and run. So for example, if I choose 3, because we want to apply the do while loop, enter. So 67, 78, 69. Do you want to press another? If I say yes, repeat again. Okay? If I input it n, double enter, then exit. Because in do while loop statement, once the y or lowercase y or lower uppercase y doesn't encountered, it automatically end the process or the looping. Okay, so how about this one? Same while statement for grades. How about this one? This is also an example of a while. So execute, compile and run. So 78, 90, 78. And so on. So 12, we inputted 12, I think. 12 grades. So if we total this one, 12 numbers, we got sum of 756 and the average is 75. And this will be the program. Okay? We just add depending on how many numbers you inputted in the given program. Okay, so then that's it. This is also for loop statement. Okay, and that's it. It is very important for you to learn this one. How about this one? Because our exam or our midterm exam is unanimously the same with this one. Where's it? This one. Okay? So, for example, for program, if you choose one, it runs, for example, a grades. If you input 2, it runs about payroll. If we inputted 3, it runs with, for example, another computations or statistics computation. But for option number 1, for example, that is using for loop, but different functions, different programs run with one program. We have 3 different programs in one main program. Okay? So it means to say that if we choose 1, grades computation. If we choose 2, payroll computation. If we choose 3, for example, or per the default, for example, there's a statistical computation. So it must be a combination of 3 to 5 different programs in one program. It means to say that when we say that, we have 5 sub-program in a main program. So as what we have here, we had 3 sub-program. Now, we are not yet still using functions. Maybe next meeting we use function. But by this time, we just only focus in using while loop or do while loop statement. For loop, while loop, and do while loop. So, yes, I will give you the codes. No, actually, of course. Okay, so this will be the sample. Or no, this will be the possible guidelines or possible programs that you need to focus on to review for your midterm exam. Because we're going to combine conditional statement. Of course, when you say conditional statement, we have, of course, if, else, if. For looping, if, else, if, in switch. For example, for sub-program number 1, using for loop at the same time, switch. For program ay sub-program number 2, possible while loop and by using if, else, if. And sub-program number 3, using while loop, then, for example, if, else. Then for the entire main program, you are required also to use either while loop or do while loop to rerun the program. So it means to say that our midterm exam has 5 sub-programs in a one main program. Okay? So a more application of a conditional statement and looping statement. Okay, so I think that's it for today. It's just a simple looping statement, and our midterm exam will be next week.